next Monday night when the 49ers play the Bills here on ESPN. Here is head coach Kyle Shanahan today.
I do believe we have a really good setup there to make the best of it, and that's where we'll play our games too. So I know the longer you're away, eventually the setup is the least important thing. You know, I want to keep our guys right, and not just our players and coaches, but it's not just players and coaches. This is a business. There's lots of people involved. So I know eventually people will want to come back. So if we can figure that out, I mean, we'll be very for it.
The Niners will have plenty of time to get comfy in their new digs in Glendale. Not only will they play their next two games as a home team in Arizona, they'll also take on the Cardinals as a road team there in Week 16. And then their final chance to hold a regular season home game in Santa Clara, that'll come Week 17 against the Seahawks.
Sage, it was in prime time for all to see. Not so special, yeah. The days. Carson Wentz continued his struggles against the Seahawks and an Eagles offense that failed to protect him and failed to generate any sustained success with Doug Pederson's play calling. It's the perfect storm of bad as the Eagles dropped to 3-7-1 with Benny calling for sweeping changes less than 3 years after Doug Pederson led Philly to their first ever Super Bowl.
Have you received assurances that you'll be able to see through this season as head coach?
I haven't been reassured one way or the other, no.
How much pressure are you feeling from the very top of the organization?
Our relationship is good. We have we communicate, a lot throughout the week. Listen, some of these questions might be for Mr. Lurie, obviously, but look, my job is to prepare the team and get ready for Green Bay.
For all things Philly, Sal Paolantonio joining us now with much more. And Sal, what can you tell us regarding the status of Doug Pederson's job security right now?
Kevin, I want you to push the rewind button. Remember when you and I were hosting the Eagles Super Bowl championship parade on the foot of the Art Museum steps, and we looked out at a sea of tens of thousands of people, and I said, Kevin, can you believe it? And you said to me live on SportsCenter, you said, Sal, pinch me. I think I'm dreaming.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people are still in that dream, and there's a lot of equity still built up over those 3 years, including within the organization. Doug Pederson, what he did for that team and that organization and that owner, Jeffrey Lurie, will never be forgotten. But at the same time, there's a lot of that equity that has been used up this season. And I think it's pretty clear that the owner, by missing the game in Cleveland against the Browns, sent an unmistakable signal, as reported by the Philadelphia Inquirer first, that he's becoming more and more frustrated with the direction of the season and the team. Still, I think it'd be very out of character for Jeffrey Lurie, a very forgiving guy, loyal guy, patient guy, to fire Doug Pederson within this season. But I think, listen, Kevin, if they lose out and they only win 3 games this year, everything has got to be discussed and on the table. You would agree with me on that.
Yeah, that is well said, especially when you look at the stretch of games in the next 3, the Packers, Saints, and Cardinals, and then 2 division foes in a division where maybe 1st to 6 wins it all. We won't see that here with this Philadelphia team. Sal Paolantonio with the latest from Philadelphia.
I was just trying to make it, I can't explain the emotions.
Back to Doncic. Doncic pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Doncic wins the game at the buzzer!
One of the best friends I ever had. It's just something special, man. This team is something special.
We'll never forget that shot, that's for sure. Here's the thing, the Mavericks know what they have to do to contend. Try their best to get past the Lakers, the Clippers, the Nuggets, and the rest of the always loaded Western Conference. They added a good defender in Josh Richardson this offseason and lost a good shooter in Seth Curry. But we all know it's going to come down to Luka. Listen to his numbers from last season. Exactly 28.8 points per game, 9.4 rebounds, 8.8 assists. Plain and simple, Luka Doncic was incredible in just his second season. Remember, he's only 21, but with very high expectations.
Every year, I want to be better. That's the goal. For me, like I always say, I want to win the championship. And that's the goal we entered last year. That's the goal we're going to enter this year as a whole group. And, during this pandemic, all this stuff is going to be different season. Some players might get might get corona, get sick, not be able to be with the team 10 days. So I think there's going to be a big part on which team is not going to have positive people. And, there's going to be a lot of time together. And I think that's going to be a key.
Elsewhere, Pacers guard Victor Oladipo denied today that he wanted to leave the team this offseason. Oladipo, who's in the final year of a 4-year, $84 million contract, only played in 19 games last season as he continued to come back from that ruptured quad tendon. Today, Oladipo asked specifically about those reports that he wanted out of Indy. Listen.
Growing up, I was always taught not to engage in nonsense. So I never ever came out and said that I didn't want to play for the Pacers or be in this organization. I can't control what they say, what they write, what they do. I'm just focused on me and improving, focus on my team, and being my best version of myself.
Meantime, the Celtics will be without guard Kemba Walker at least until early January. He was given a stem cell injection in his left knee after last season and put on a 12-week strengthening program. Celtics President Danny Ainge says this year will tell them the long-term implications of that knee injury. Listen to this.
I think this next year will tell us a lot more. I think, he saw some specialists over the last, 6 or 8 weeks, and they all came to the same.